Hello and namaste everyone. Welcome to this new episode of Teenspire. As you might have seen me saying that this episode is special. Actually, all of our episodes are special, but I mean the guest that I have today with me here is really special. Not just because he is winner of YY Global Teen Hero India 2020, but also one of the few youths that I have encountered uh, who are actually working in the sector like politics, in peace, and then conflict management and things like that. So it's rare to find uh, teenagers and youths who are interested in working in such sector. So today I have with me Mr. Vivaan Kabir, who is, as I said earlier, uh, winner of YY Global Junior India 2020. Apart from that, he is co-founder of South Asia Youth Exchange. So welcome, Vivaan.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. That's a very nice introduction. I'm excited for this.
So just let me with one of the basic questions that I have asked almost every teenager that I have been talking in the Teenspire series. How was your lockdown? How is everything there in Mumbai?
It was good. I think uh, uh, lockdown has been, the cases are still sort of there, and the lockdown is very much still here. But I think personally for me, from a standpoint of being a student, it's interesting, having changed from physical school to online school. But in terms of my work outside school, I think the lockdown has been pretty beneficial because I had much more time, during in when what was normal life, you would waste 2-3 hours of transport every day. So I'm finding these pockets of time that I'm just being able to work more. So I'm really enjoying that.
Amazing. So yeah, definitely it has kind of shaped the whole education system in different direction. We would have never thought that we would be taking online classes fully, especially the classes of schools and colleges, and giving our exams online. So yeah, I mean the situation of Corona has shaped the um, whole education system in new direction. So now getting back to your work, as you said that I mean, effect of Corona on you work that it had made easier. So at what age did you started the South Asia Youth Exchange, and what inspired you that okay, not only that I'll be working in my society, I'll be working in my country, that I need to work on whole South Asian level. What was the inspiration behind that, and at what age did you start it?
So, in terms of South Asian Youth Exchange itself, the organization, I started it when I was 16 years old. 19 is when I sort of really started the organization. But my inspiration and the idea for the concept has been with me for a long time now. I've grown up in a house where a lot of what we talk about on our dining table is to do with politics. So I've always been very sort of aware about international relations, conflicts, wars, all these things that are going on around the world.
Yeah.
So recently, I mean, I've had this interaction, and this is what it really, sparked the South Asian Youth Exchange, or SAYX as we call it, which is that essentially I had this phone call with a few Pakistani students, and these are also people that I connected through my connections with SAYX. Mm-hmm. But essentially, initially, it's an interesting fact, but the South Asian Youth Exchange was initially just the Indo-Pak Youth Exchange, where I was simply focusing on the Indian and Pakistani youth, because obviously India and Pakistan are two very hostile countries, and the history obviously dictates the same thing. So that was my inspiration. But once I got to know that after a point between youth, there is not much relevance of nationality. At the end of the day, the youth community is extremely strong, and there's a tight knit sort of unity in the sense that they want to take control of their future. And so I decided to expand from just India and Pakistan to 8 countries, which are all countries in South Asia, which has been really nice. And I feel after a point, I find the same ideas, I find the same passion in students from all these countries, not just 1, 2, 3, or all 8 of them.
Amazing, amazing. So, I mean, what is the goal that you guys are trying to achieve? From this organization, what are the objectives?
So for me, it's very simple. Essentially, there's 2 types of goals that um, I wanted to achieve and I am achieving with SayX.
Yeah.
One is a short-term goal and a more objective goal. And my choice to create a platform for the South Asian youth to get involved in today's politics and decision making, which is what we do through the SayX proclamation. Mm-hmm. So essentially, the central part of the South Asian Youth Exchange is this summit that we held in September, where we had students from all these 8 nations sort of come together and discuss topics like environmental sustainability, cross-border cooperation, civil rights, all these sort of important issues. And we came up with 70 policies that are sort of compiled into this proclamation. So this proclamation is this long document, over 200 pages, of detailed policies that we want to suggest to governments. And this is releasing, in fact, in less than a week on January 1st, 2021, we're going to be releasing the proclamation. And it has to basically be presented to the UN, to the foreign affairs ministries of all of these countries. And that's sort of my objective with SayX. That was a short-term goal. Mm-hmm. Because that's essentially giving a voice to the youth, giving them a platform to ideate, think about solutions to our problems, and hopefully start solving the problems for our own future. On a more long-term basis, on a more intangible basis, it was essentially to build, connective bridges in South Asia. The World Bank recently actually declared that South Asia is the least cooperative region in the whole world. And that's despite holding 1/4 of the world's population, which is insane. Yeah. So, for such a large region to not be cooperative and to not, use our potential as 8 countries is really disappointing. So I sort of started bridging those gaps and started connecting the youths to possibly 30 years down the line, when it is this generation that's in our parliaments, perhaps we'll be more connected, more unified in a sense.
Amazing. I also hope same that one day, whole this South Asian region can get connected on the way that you are hoping. And there is more better bonding between the youths and the country, of course, that are in South Asian region. Okay, that was more of a professional and work related thing. So usually in all over South Asian region, or all over the world, when a teenager is trying to work, parents are kind of they think that okay, if my child gets involved in such things, it might affect his studies, it might affect his academics. So how are you balancing, and what is reaction of your parents on that?
So my parents were definitely extremely supportive. If you couldn't tell already, I'm a humanities oriented student, so I love, I want to study political science at a higher level as well. So it was never, I was clear that if this is something that is not going very well, and it's sort of breaching my academics as well, it's probably not something that I should do or should indulge my time in. But thankfully, I learned to manage my time well. I was thriving much more. I was much more interested to even engage with other people because of my work with SayX and because of my other work outside SayX as well. But yeah, I think my parents aren't the type that, or for that matter, even I'm not the type of person that is like, okay, academics comes first, and then everything else can go after.
Yeah.
I definitely hold my academics to a high regard. I like to maintain my grades. I like to maintain my academic portfolio. But doing something like this is my passion. I like doing it. I get to interact with new people. I'm getting to meet so many excellent people from these countries. And it just goes hand in hand. I've been able to find like an equilibrium where I'm spending enough time in school doing my work, but at the same time, I'm devoting my free time to this.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, definitely. What I also believe is when our parents they know that anything that we are doing is good and it will make us a good human being and be fruitful to our career, they will definitely support it. So yeah. So now coming to the next part, you are, I mean, YY Global Teen Hero India 2020. How was your experience, and how did you feel when you were announced as the with the title of YY Global Teen Hero India 2020?
So it was, great, through and through. From the time I was nominated as the finalist, I was very sort of, happy because from what I read about Local Teen Hero, it was essentially an award to recognize and help students get their message out to more people. Yeah. And recognition is obviously always welcome. So overall, as an experience, I think it's been great. I've gotten exposure to a lot of new outlets, new places that have amplified my message. Once I won, I think about 20, 25 news outlets even picked up the whole thing and sort of spoke about it, which was excellent essentially. And yeah, I really appreciate the journey with Glocal, which was more sort of valuable than the award itself. Once you are nominated, for those who don't know, obviously there are workshops that we go through before we get before a winner is announced.
Yeah.
And that was really excellent. I mean, I got to interact with individual tracks, public speaking, communication, life coaching. It was great. It was a great experience overall.
Yeah, that is what we at Glocal have been trying to promote. That I mean, if given opportunity to teenagers, they can do a lot in the world and bring impact and change to society, to country, and to entire world. So I'm glad that I mean you are YY Global Teen Hero India 2020. So although I don't have any role in making that, but yeah, I'm glad that you won. So I mean, while being a teenager and working in the society, you have to face a lot of challenges. So I mean, the society here in Nepal or Kathmandu is quite different than the society in uh, Mumbai or the society in any other parts of India or South Asia or world. So what kind of challenges did you face as a teenager when you tried to work for the society, especially in the context of India or Mumbai?
I think it takes as a student who is obviously under 18, when you're working, when you reach out to people for partnerships or for favors or for anything, it takes a little longer for them to take you seriously.
True, true.
Which I don't think is very helpful to anyone.
Mhm.
When you have a teenager that's trying to work towards a cause, that does sort of also help you in sometimes, but in some cases what happens is your requests and all are sort of sidelined, because if a student is doing it, then it must not be serious. So
True, true.
I don't think that's something that's very helpful to anyone.
Yeah.
I'm not completely sure whether it's the same in Nepal or not, but yeah, I think that's one challenge that I faced. But I must say that has also helped me in a lot of cases, because people tend to gravitate towards causes that
Vivaan, I think there is
feel,
some internet issue. There is some internet issue. I can't listen you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can you hear me now?
Vivaan, you there? Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, so I mean, a lot of things were missed out, but what I get from that, yeah, things are quite similar here in Nepal also, and I think that goes all around the world when a student is trying to do. There will be definitely a group of people who will be supporting you because if if the works or initiation that you are taking are good for the society, they will be supporting. But majorly, there will be a majority of people who will be not taking you seriously. So that goes all around the world. So we are in the last section of our this episode of Teenspire. So do you have any message or any words, anything that you would like to share with fellow teenagers or fellow youths who are watching you from all around the world?
Yeah, I think, I don't want to be, some lecturer or anything, so I can't give you some great advice. But I mean, through Glocal Teen Hero, the other sort of individuals that I've had the pleasure to meet that are of my age, the other finalists, the other, people in Glocal Teen Hero, I really appreciate what everyone's trying to do. Because I definitely feel that the youth needs to get more involved in where society is heading. I've met some excellent people that are working for the environment, for technology, for education, and I think more people need to do that. If you feel, passionate towards a cause, do everything you can to be engaged in the cause. If it's even something small as reading up about the cause before you feel passionate about it, so that you can talk to other people about it, you're helping the cause because you're raising awareness. Or it can even be something small as that. It doesn't have to be founding an organization to help the cause. So get involved as much as you can, and all the best. And obviously, if you would like to reach out to me for something or some questions or some help, I'm always open.
Thank you so much, Vivan. It was amazing talking with you and listening you. Uh, you are an amazing speaker, so I don't need to stress much on your speaking abilities. But the works that you are doing on building peace and good bonding between the South Asia. I also being a being a youth of the South Asia expect same that we all can work together to make this world a better place. Thank you so much for joining. In our next edition of Teenspire, I'll be back with another amazing teenager from South Asian region. Thank you all for joining. Have a great evening. Bye bye.
Thank you for having me. Bye.